First, a little preview. Hey everybody, welcome back to another of Gavinsky's tutorials. Today I'm looking at Woodulator by Woodman's Immaculate Maple Syrup Studio. He's a very creative developer and I reviewed an app of his before called Woodscaper. Check that out if you haven't. Now Woodulator is a bucket brigade delay, which actually recently I compared some bucket brigade delays and forgot to mention this one, quite an oversight. It's very good. So it's a bucket brigade delay, and it also does pitch shifting. You have two pitch shifters, and the very cool thing about this is that it has got great modulation possibilities, absolutely wonderful LFOs that can morph between different waveforms. That to me is the outstanding feature of this. So first let's just listen to what it can sound like, and then I'll explain how it works. Okay, so first this is just an instance of noise, error sign, really cool patch. This is being played by Rosetta Scalar, and Rosetta Scalar is receiving MIDI from IONIRX. If you're familiar with my tutorials, you'll know that I use this app a lot and love it. You can see that in other videos I've done. So IONIRX is feeding arpeggiated polyrhythmic MIDI into Rosetta Scalar, and basically Rosetta Scalar is pitching that down, and then I have Blue Mango's stereo delay on that. Now over here we have another instance of noise, and this is the one that I'm going to apply Woodulator to, and using a sound called Crystallite Mallet. So let's just hear a little bit of that. And first it's going to be dry, and then I'm going to add. So let me let you hear what that is like completely dry. You can hear that as this very simple polyrhythmic melody. Now let's hear what it can sound like when I put a bit of Woodulator on it, which is running through the Stratosphere Cloud Reverb, by the way, a little tiny bit. I'm going to add this quite gradually. Okay, so let's talk about what this is doing. Now, by the way, recently I did videos on Bleach Shimmer, which has something in common with this, and also on Eventide's Crystals, which has a lot in common with this. I'm not going to have time in today's video to go into a detailed comparison of those three apps. They're all apps that I would recommend if you like playing with pitch. They all have their own strong points. So you can check out those videos if you really want to. If you only want to buy one of these and you want to make a choice, check out all three of these videos. I go into each one in detail. Okay, so let's see what we've got here. So first of all, okay, we have a preset menu here. And of course we can load our presets in AUM. I won't go into that kind of thing too much. Now, first thing to mention is that we have two screens. So we access the second screen by clicking on the Advanced tab, and we'll look at that later. Here you get an online link to the manual. The manual is extremely good, by the way, very thorough. Woodman does great manuals. I mean, you even have very detailed stuff here showing different things that can happen with the pitch frequencies. So really, you know, more developers should do good manuals like this, extremely thorough. I think when you've got a powerful effect, you really need a good manual. Okay, so we can set the BPM. In this case, I'm syncing to the DAW. So although it says 120 here, it's not actually. It's synced to 90, which is the BPM in the DAW. Here we set the delay time. So I'm using triplet quarter notes. Now, over here there's something cool that's quite unique, I think, if I think about those other two apps I just mentioned. This allows you to offset the delay. So you can play around and get the delay coming in a little bit earlier or a little bit later. It goes up and down 10%. Double tap to reset. You can also tap on any number and type in whatever number you want. It's another good feature. Okay, here you can tap your delay and stuff. Now Resync will resync the delay if it's wandered off. Feedback, okay, that's feedback for the delay. Let's hear that. So we need to be careful when we, obviously, with delays when we go up to high feedback levels. It's very easy for it to get really out of control. But definitely some amount of feedback is a really important element of the sound. This is it without feedback. Let's just compare again, dry and wet. That's dry. This is fully wet. 50-51. Okay, putting up the feedback. The fully wet one can be good for very ambient effects. But in most cases, you're not going to want it fully wet. Down here, we can change the delay level. So you see, like this, we're only hearing the pitch things, the pitch shifts over here, we're not getting any delay. So now we're adding in the delay. Now, what if we don't want the pitch shift? What if we just want delay? Then, in that case, we go over here and go down to pitch 1 and pitch 2 level and bring those down. Let's hear what that's like. Okay, let's bring them in. So that's just pitch 1. Now just pitch 2. Okay, let's look at some of the pitch settings. So, okay, here we can see what kind of pitch shift we've got. So here, there is actually no pitch shift. It's in unison with the main note, unison. Here, it's pitched up and it's octave shifts. Now, here we can set, is it harmonic or not? Here we can reverse it. Now you can see this one is reversed. Let's listen to just this one. And let's take off the reverse. So that's no reverse. And now we've got the reverse. And to the right of the reverse, we can make it ring modulated. This can be really cool depending on what you're looking for. Okay, now here, oh, I think my mouse has died maybe just because it hasn't been used in a while. There we go. Right, so here we can set the delay time for the pitch shifters and the amount of feedback. Okay, let's listen to this. Let's put on the ring modulator. Oh, crunchy. Crunchy goodness. Okay, now the way the pitches are shifted, what you'll get over time, unless it's set to octave or unison, you'll start to get the time drifting away from bars. So you can use Resync to resync it, and you have a few choices there. But because this is a very kind of ambient piece, I want the Resync off. Okay, now over here we have a really important part of this effect. So the modulation. So here, okay, so here we have LFO1, right, and all of this side is related to that. Here we have LFO2, and this side is related to that. So we can see we have a lot of different destinations for the LFOs. Now, these are things that when I flick through them, they're not necessarily going to sound good. Some are going to sound good and some are not going to sound that great. This is not something where you can just jump around and stick on any kind of preset or send anything to anything and expect it to sound good. It's really going to depend. You know, this is an effect that you need to sit down and spend a bit of time tweaking and see what's going to work for the particular sounds that you're putting into it. But let's play around with that a little bit. We can see the massive amount of choices we have here. So we can send the LFO to the delay amplification, pitch amplification, pitch 1 and 2. We can do them separately, we can do them together. Pitch 1 frequency, pitch 2 frequency. The delay Moog, there's a Moog filter on the delay with the frequency of that. The Moog filter frequency for the pitch. Delay panning, pitch 1, pitch 2 panning, both of them together. Delay feedback, pitch 1, pitch 2. So, I mean, just brilliant. And I have to say, this bit of genius here was yours truly's idea. I contacted Wim around the time I did the Woodscaper tutorial and said I thought it would be brilliant if you could morph between different waveforms. So we do that here by just dragging our finger along and we can get all kinds of cool combinations. Absolutely brilliant. Now here we set the time, you can see it's set to free at the moment. And here we have the depth of the LFO, so the amount basically, and here the frequency of the LFO. So let's have a little play with that. Again, as I say, some things will sound good, some things will not. If you're in a live performance situation, you'd really need to rehearse and see what kind of transitions are going to sound good. Cycle through some waveforms. Let's try something that you'll really notice. Pitch 1 frequency. So do you see what's happening here? Here we can set that pitch shift in frequency. Will it go up or down an octave? So here it's going both up and down. So if that's too fast, we can change the LFO frequency here. Let's check that out. So, I mean, if you like weird stuff, if you like ambient, that kind of thing, wow. Okay. If the effect's too strong, bring down the modulation depth. So we're getting some idea there of the cool stuff we can do, right? Now, let's go into the second panel. So here we control the filters in high pass, in low pass, the gain, and the LFO slew rate. Let's have a little play with some of these things. So you see, if we put it like this, we're not really getting any low frequencies. Only things above 20,000 Hertz are passing. So this is really cool to kind of gradually bring things in an interesting way. Okay, and here we have the low pass. Oh, getting some distortion. Which of course you may want, depending on what you're looking for. Okay, the gain is obvious enough. I think this maybe only does something if it's on the square. Doesn't seem to be doing anything at the moment. Now, here we can also choose, so this is the same as when we're in the first screen and we click here, we can morph. Well, maybe we don't want to morph, then we can just choose directly the LFO type here. And we also have two options here which are not on the other page, so sidechain and envelope. So you can use the source envelope as the modulation source. Okay, now here we have feedback filter. So the filter for the feedback, and we can choose what kind of filter we have. And we can choose to cut some low frequencies and dirty. I'm not sure exactly what that is, but I guess dirty the sound up a little bit. Different types of filters. We're getting the distortion again there. That's not a flaw with the app, it's just the nature of the filters and things. Get some pretty ethereal effects with this one. Over here we can add saturation. The glide kind of smooths things out. You'll hear that more noticeably on some things than others. Now here we have low pass filter and resonance for the pitch. So again, this is a nice one to kind of play. You can set up MIDI stuff, I guess, for playing with foot pedals and things. Down here we can pan the delay, the pitch, control the pitch 1 and pitch 2 panning separately. Delay stereo, pitch stereo. Now, being a delay, we're going to get these kind of sounds when we change things like this. Again, it's something that if you do it carefully, you could possibly utilize it in your music. Otherwise, it's something that you wouldn't change on the fly normally. I'm just showing you for demonstration purposes. Can be interesting on this ambient stuff doing that though. So, Woodman is offering a few copies of the app to subscribers to the channel. Thanks a lot, Wim. To have a chance to win, you have to subscribe to this channel if you haven't. Make sure you click the notification bell so you get notified. I mean, I often have giveaways with videos, so it's good for you to be notified when a new episode comes out. And give this video a thumbs up and write a comment, any interesting comment. We do get some interesting ones, I have to say, in the comments section. Thanks a lot, everybody. Thanks for your support. So, I'll see you in the next video.